Hello, Lesley.
Hi, hello, Ernie.
It is such a pleasure to have you joining us, and it's so sad to know we're in our final season.
I know. We've just been through all of that in the UK, and now I'm reliving it because I'm in the US. So I'm watching all the sad faces, yes.
Well, tonight we had a very sad face because of what happened to Lord Grantham, to Robert, and I think one of my favorite lines in the show so far this season has to be when Mrs. Hughes is asking Mrs. Patmore what we should do, your answer is, let's send up some coffee. That coffee must cure everything, huh?
Well, that seems to be her answer to things. Feed people or, give them something to digest.
Yeah.
That's all she can do. That's all she can do.
Speaking about having something to digest, what you have done with this character is wonderful. How you've made her the sage, the clever one in the downstairs. How much did you work on that character, and how much was given to you?
Do you know, it was really lovely the way it unfolded, actually, and this is because Julian Fellowes is just such a great writer, and he did what I think a lot of really talented writers do. He came up with all these characters from scratch, as you know. I mean, that I don't think he still gets credit for. He came up with 18 fully rounded characters before any actors got their hands on it. And then I think it's probably the case that every actor came to it with some sort of slant on it. I mean, in my case, I was very much guided by what we were advised, how stressful a job it was, and why she looked like a crusty, cranky woman, and the reasoning behind it. So then you're not playing a baddie; you're just playing a woman who's under some sort of stress for good reason. And the other thing is, I had the great fortune to work with Sophie McShearer, who plays Daisy, and we hit it off from the very first moment I met her. And so it's only recently that Julian Fellowes said publicly that Mrs. Patmore was not supposed to be necessarily funny, or he didn't see her like that. But because of the kind of instinctive relationship and chemistry that Sophie and I had and have, I think he picked up on that, and he took Mrs. Patmore more in that direction, and used that, which is great. So he gave us lots of layers to play, tragic and comedic, and that's what's been a gift for the last 6 years.
I am going to flip this question now and take it the other way and say, that's what you brought to the role. What are you going to take away from the role? Great memories.
Yeah. Great memories. Try and stick to your guns and be as authentic and as real as you can. I had a great bit of advice from a friend of mine who's a very good actress called Anne Reid, who does a show called Last Tango in Halifax, which I know is shown here. She's a lot older than me. She's a lot wiser and been around a long time. And she said to me at the very beginning, as much as is appropriate, and clearly that's important, but as much as is appropriate, don't be afraid to use some of your own characteristics, because you'll be bringing things to it that you're not even aware that you're doing. It'll be unconscious, there'll be no effort, but it'll be something that people recognize. So that was a great piece of advice. I mean, obviously I didn't layer myself over it where it was inappropriate, but there were kind of traits that I could use of myself that she felt would be helpful.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what helps and makes so many of those characters on that show so real, is that I think it's a great acting troupe that's come together to put this show on for us.
Well, it just gelled, and that's one of the reasons I think that the thing took off. I mean, and nobody quite knows how that happens or why, but it did seem to. That lots of elements of this show just seemed to gel, and like for instance, with Sophie, I never met Sophie before the first day I rehearsed with her. Could have been terrible. She could have been a complete brat, but she wasn't.
But she wasn't.
But she wasn't. She's adorable. Yeah.
Lucky for you and lucky for all of us. Last question before I let you go. I'm sure everyone asks this. Are you a good cook?
No, I'm not. No, I'm very, very blessed to have a husband who's the cook, and I wash up if I have to, and and I eat it, and I'm very, very happy to do so.
Well, you have not just fed the characters from your character, you have fed all of us a wonderful story over these last 6 years. Thank you so much for the character, for the show, and for all the laughs and joy you've brought us.
That's very kind. Thank you so much.